I met the Rogers family a lot of part of the 50s. I was up working with the church in West Chicago where Oliver was preaching. And that was before Marilyn came into the world. And so I was part of the family. Then I lost contact with her until she was a grown woman and was actually going through a divorce. Because of that, we worked her through it, and she healed in a very fine way. At that point, she wanted, of course, another relationship and asked me if I knew of any fine Christian men. Well, actually, I didn't at the time. But in the meantime, I'm out at Pepperdine speaking, and Mike Bucchi comes up to me and tells me about his wife dying. And I knew Mike Bucchi as a student. In fact, I took him flying one day, and because of that, his love for flying, that he follows on and becomes a Navy pilot. But after his wife died, I talked to Mike on the phone. I said, if you're ready for a new relationship, let me know. So a few months later, he called me. He said, I believe I'm ready. I said, fine. I called Marilyn and I said, is it all right if I give this man your number? She said, absolutely. So Mike took the number and called.
So we did talk. He talked to me all the way home. I talked to him all the way home. He was telling me about all these different things that he did as a lieutenant and as a captain. And not growing up in the military, I had no clue what he was talking about. And I didn't know the ranks. And so I said, well, you know what? Maybe if you would send me a copy of your resume, then I would know at what level these ranks are. So when you tell me the stories, I'll know kind of when you're talking about in your life. And he was like, oh, well, okay, I guess I could do that for you. So he sent it to me. And when I got this resume and I saw this 2 pages jam-packed full of all of these awards and all of these merits and all of these honors that he had received in the Navy, I thought, oh my goodness. When he figures out that I'm just really an ordinary person, that I'm just a kindergarten teacher, and I'm just a mama, and I'm just a regular old person, he's gonna say, whoa, I'm way out of my league here. How did this happen? And so I thought, you know, I don't wanna hurt him. I don't wanna hurt myself. I don't wanna be hurt. And so I thought, I know how I can end this in a hurry. You know, if he's after some highfalutin woman, I'm not her. So he needs to keep on looking. So I thought, this'll do it. So I typed up real quick on the computer, Marilyn's resume, and I put kindergarten teacher, mama of 3, faithful friend, and lover of God. And I hit send. Sent it to him. I thought, that'll do it. Put his 2 pages up there next to my 4 little sentences. That'll do it. And before long, I heard this little ding, you got mail. And I ran over to the computer, of course, thinking it was him, and it was. And I pulled it up, and this is what it said. Marilyn, don't ever forget, mine is temporal, but yours is eternal. And that's when I went, ooh, I think this is going to be a keeper.
Mike and Marilyn were married at midnight on January 1st, 2006, by Marilyn's father.
Well, I think the first thing you notice of Mike and Marilyn is their energy. They have a tremendous energy that rubs off on everyone around them, and a desire to get things done. But I think the thing that impresses me most about them is their servant hearts. And it doesn't matter what I ask them to do or others ask them to do, they are willing to help out and serve in any capacity. I think very impressed with the work that they do with the single mothers at church. I think a lot of that coming out of Marilyn's experiences, and she knows what it's like to be a single mother, and so they're starting a lot of ministry to the single moms here in our congregation.
Mike's really the reason I kind of went to Harding, is because I was going to go to the Naval Academy because that was always my big dream, and I got my acceptance letter, and he gave me a call and he goes, you know, Stephen, I want you to check out Harding. And I'd never even heard of it, being from San Diego, so I'm like, okay. And he goes, you know, we'll set you up a trip out there for Bison Days. So I really enjoyed it, and that's why I turned down the Naval Academy and went to Harding, because Mike helped me out on that one.
Hugely thankful to my mom for living that and showing us that the qualities of Christ that come out in my mom.
Well, one thing I wanted to say about Mike is that he truly is an answer to prayers, my mom's prayers and our prayers. And you know, we don't hear much from our dad. Actually, we don't really hear anything from, you know, our birth father. But I just, you know, at first, Mike's always been very respectful, you know, to give us space, but he's always loved us unconditionally, and he's treated us and loved us just like, we were his own children. And I'm just thankful that he is a faithful husband to my mom and that he really is a faithful father to us. He doesn't push that on us, but he has been a faithful mentor and truly been a father figure when we really needed one.
I think we all believe that with God all things are possible, and nobody's life is storybook. All the good stuff you don't know a lot of the other stuff that goes on. And both Mike and Marilyn have struggled. They've gotten together through the power of God. I do think it's a work of the Holy Spirit, but they're a life in progress.
Mike and Marilyn Bucchi's lives have exemplified their accomplishments professionally and their strengths during difficult times. They are living testimonials of the redemptive power of God, and we proudly recognize them as Harding University's Distinguished Alumni for 2009.